What up, you guys? It's brother Trey, man. So before we get into the video, I want to tell you what it's about real quick. So I got footage from the manager talking about the case. I got DJ Academics talking to the manager, and then we got the actual evidence that the state has, the actual documents that the state is using, and they're going to use on trial, you guys. And so I just concised every single thing down that we know on the internet that's public records right now, and I just put it in this video. Now Myron, he is from the Fresh and Fit podcast. He also used to be a federal agent, and so he broke it down on his channel, you guys. I'm gonna link the full official video down below so that you can actually watch the entire breakdown. I just concised all of the most important pieces into this video. Last thing about this is, when you listen to DJ Academics talking to the manager, he's full of bullshit, man. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all, man. The manager just skated past all the questions, didn't make any sense with the questions that DJ Academics asked. He tried to fight. He's like, oh, how do you, DJ Academics said, how do you fight ballistics? And he's like, you fight the defense. The defense say fine. Bro, it's bullshit, man. The manager on that bullshit with it, and then he pulled out the race card, like, oh, you know, we're black people, we face this stuff, bro. Melly, it looks like Melly's going to the chair, man. He ain't going. I don't think he's gonna get out of this, man. But with that being said, man, like, comment, subscribe down below, you guys. I truly appreciate it, and let me know. Do you guys think YNW Melly is innocent at the end of this video, you guys? Please let me know. I told you my opinion on it. With that being said, man, I'll see you in the next one.
On October 26, 2018 at 4:35 a.m., Cortland Henry, YNW Melly's friend, entered the emergency room at Miramar requesting assistance for two passengers in his vehicle, a 2018 Jeep Compass. So this is important, guys. There's 8 shots on the right side of the vehicle when they pull up, and he's coming in with 2 guys that are bloody and non-responsive. As soon as they pulled up, that police officer that was on scene got the two dead bodies. He called homicide immediately. Henry stated that just past Southwest 160th Ave, Dykes Road, a vehicle pulled next to him and started shooting. Henry immediately lowered his body position to the floorboards in a protective posture to avoid being shot. Okay, remember, he's driving the vehicle. Henry added that when he sat upright, his friends Williams and Thomas were shot, and he immediately proceeded to the nearest hospital. Detective Toyota later drove with Henry to have him identify the specific location of where the shooting occurred. Henry pointed out the 16100 block of Miramar Parkway. And so they closed off the area that Henry pointed out. He's like, hey, we got shot here, right? They close that bad boy off. Send detectives, CSI, everyone's scouring the thing for bullets, blood, whatever it is, right? Trying to find fragments of evidence so that they go after these alleged drive-by shooters, right? And no corroborating evidence was found, okay? So this is first red flag number 1, okay? So now they go and talk to a potential witness, okay, guys? So you guys know what's going on here. So at this point, the detectives are like, what the hell's going on? So now they're going to start interviewing people to try to figure out what the story is, okay? So this guy, Williams, this witness, aka Wither, right? We'll just call him Wither, okay? Wither says they, Henry, Melly, Thomas Williams, right? The 2 victims and Henry and Demons, aka Melly, were at a recording studio in Fort Lauderdale and all left together in 2 separate vehicles. Wither said that Demons, aka, remember guys, Melly, was in his vehicle, a red Mitsubishi, and the gray Jeep was occupied by Henry Williams and Thomas. So remember guys, they were driving in a Jeep. The murder occurred in a Jeep, but Withers is over here saying that Melly was with him in his red Mitsubishi. And Henry also stated that Melly was not with him in the vehicle. Okay, so this is very important. You got 2 people here saying that Melly was not in the Jeep. So that's another red flag. We got witnesses lying now. All right, so we got one story that's not adding up with the guy that was driving the car, Henry. And then now Withers' story isn't checking out either. Okay, so next, now they're going to go to the recording studio. Detectives Toyota and Bertrand made contact with management on 10/26/2018. The manager of the studio confirmed the victims were at the recording studio along with Jamel Demons, aka Melly, guys. The manager provided Toyota and Bertrand access to the studio security cameras. Video evidence shows on 10/26/2018 the aforementioned gray Jeep departed the New Era studio. Driver was identified as Cortland Henry, right, aka YNW Bortland, and the left rear passenger was Jamel Demons. So they got this on video, guys, that he got in the left rear passenger seat behind Portland. Now, remember, guys, Henry never mentioned Melly, but now they got video evidence showing that Melly actually got in the Jeep. So now the detectives have it on video that Melly, his co-defendant, and the 2 victims departed together. As you guys see, there's a lot of holes already, right? So what do the police do? They go ahead and get a search warrant. Now, they go and search the Jeep that the 4 individuals were in that we now know were in there. The vehicle had 8 visible projectile holes on the right side of the vehicle. Remember how I told you guys before there were bullet holes on the right-hand side of the car? It should be noted that one single .40 caliber shell casing was found inside the vehicle on the floorboard of the left rear passenger side. Oh, Lord! If you got shot in a drive-by shooting, how's there a bullet inside the vehicle? This was the seat that was utilized by demons as observed on the video. This supports the evidence that the victims were shot inside the car first and the projectile holes on the exterior was later staged in an effort to misdirect law enforcement investigation. Now, with this conflicting information, he goes running back over, right, to the guy that lied to him, aka Withers. After confronting Withers with the video evidence, Withers then changed his story. He said, Demons was in the gray Jeep initially, but along the way he got out of the Jeep and entered the red Mitsubishi. Withers stated he was contacted by Melly via Snapchat to pull over on I-75 and meet up. Guys, make a note of that one. Skeptical cops come back again. Get another search warrant. A search warrant was obtained on the cell phones. Cell phone mapping showed Demons, aka Melly, Thomas, and Williams were together and Withers followed behind them. And remember, they got the surveillance footage to back this up. So he literally just told them, I stopped on the side of the road and Melly got in my car, but they got the cell phone footage, the cell phone location stuff that shows the car never stopped. Cell site data from Demon's cell phone, aka Melly, which is very important, cell phone corresponded with the actual crime scene location. It should be noted that the original crime scene identified by Henry was a false location. This investigation revealed that Henry intentionally lied to this investigator and others to deceive and mislead the investigation in an attempt to hide the incriminating truth pertaining to the homicides of Thomas Williams. This was according to the records provided by T-Mobile via a search warrant issued in reference to this case. Evidence shows that Henry and Demons drove around for a period of time with the two dead victims in their vehicles prior to entering the hospital. This was in a calculated effort to establish their version of the incident in an attempt to deceive law enforcement. Here's the thing, guys. They pulled cell phone location data for all the phones, the victims and the suspects. Okay, because if I'm not mistaken, all of them were on Melly's plan. Melly had a T-Mobile plan for everybody. All right, so they were able to get the location data for all the phones to establish that Melly was there with them in the vehicle. So guys, remember, Henry told them, hey, we got hit with a drive-by shooting over here. They went to check that area. They couldn't find no shell casings, no bullets, no glass, no nothing. But when they look at the cell phone records, they find a rural area of where they suspect the crime actually happened. So they get a canine that is trained to detect, probably this dog is probably trained to detect bullets. The canine showed reaction to an area on the side of the road approximately 870 feet from the nearest north/south running cross street. Okay? They bring the dog in, right? And they bring it to the area that they suspect is the real crime scene. A closer examination revealed a total of what? 8 .40 caliber Blazer S&W shell casings on the ground next to the roadway and the shoulder. 2 different types of shards of glass were found in close proximity to the shell casings. The first type of glass was a clear glass consistent with the front right passenger window of the vehicle, and the second type was a tinted glass consistent with the rear passenger side of the vehicle of the aforementioned vehicle. This crime scene was processed by CSI Curry. The casings were sent to the BSO crime lab. A closer examination of the newly discovered crime scene revealed the vehicle was stopped at this location and weapons were discharged into the vehicle. This was clearly not a drive-by shooting and no other vehicle pulled up next to them and started shooting as stated by Henry. This clearly shows a pattern of deceitfulness by Henry, all in an effort to mislead this investigation.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
On December 5th, 2018, I received the autopsy report for Williams. It stated the wound path on the neck of Williams was from back to front, left to right, and upward. This was in contradiction to what was stated that a drive-by occurred on the right side of the vehicle while in motion. Williams also has a gunshot wound to his right shoulder and his chest. It should be noted, none of the flight paths from the exterior of the vehicle matched the wound path on the rear of Williams' head. It was obvious the projectile entered from the left rear side of the vehicle. And gentlemen, who was sitting in the left rear side of the vehicle from the surveillance footage from the music studio? YNW Melly.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
And they have it on footage. On December 14th, Dr. R. McDougall, Assistant Medical Examiner, Broward County, examined the gray Jeep. And so they had another medical examiner come in and look at it as well. Then, January 11th, 2019, I received confirmation from the medical examiner's office that the entry wound on the left side of Thomas's face, remember guys, Thomas was the guy that was sitting right next to Melly. So they said there was an entry wound on the left side of Thomas's face was an intermediate wound. It should be noted, there was a 3 centimeter stippling pattern around the entry wound. This evidence shows the initial lethal shot occurred from inside the vehicle and was initiated from the left rear passenger side, the same position occupied by Melly, aka Demons. An intermediate wound by definition would indicate a distance of 3 inches to 3 feet between the victim and weapons. However, due to a 3 centimeter stippling pattern, the weapon was in close proximity to Thomas's head. In English, that means around the wound, when he was shot on the side of his face, there was a burn mark that it can only be put there from getting shot at what close range, guys? There's no way a drive-by shooting is going to create stippling on the victim's wound. The gunshot wounds to the back of Thomas also indicates these wounds were inflicted after he was shot in the head as the projectiles entered Thomas's back when he was leaning to the left. So he gets shot, starts to slump, and they shoot him again. Evidence from the autopsy revealed that both victims' wound patterns to their heads were from left to right. Yeah, not right to left. Left to right. Melly was sitting in the left, guys, which they have evidence of from the cell phones and also from the video surveillance. The single shell casing that recovered from inside the vehicle on 10/26/18 by CSI was sent to the Broward Sheriff's Office lab for comparison analysis. The shell casing was compared to the shell casings that was recovered from the crime scene on Pembroke Road on 11/21/2018. The lab concluded the single casing was a match to the casings recovered outside the vehicle. This evidence also shows that Thomas and Williams were shot inside the vehicle and the surviving occupants, Henry and Demons, the two defendants, exited the vehicle and then intentionally shot into the vehicle from the exterior. So guys, remember how I told you they went to the real crime scene with the dog and they found those 8 shell casings? Guess what? Those shell casings matched the shell casing that was in the vehicle right where Melly was sitting. But wait, there's more. They do a search warrant on Melly's Snapchat account. The direct messaging of the Snapchat account of Demons revealed he was communicating with his girlfriend 14 days after the homicide, so 2 weeks after the homicide, and he goes, and I quote, "This nigga saved my life. He coming everywhere with me because if them crackers come grab him, it's my fault. You forgot I keep Bortland with cuz at the end of the day, he did one of a realest shit in my life." These are interesting statements as they are referring to Demon's loyalty and association with Henry. They also suggest that Henry was loyal to him because he is the one who drove the bodies to the hospital and dealt with law enforcement. These statements also support the belief by law enforcement that Demons is the shooter, and the evidence leads back to him, and any further cooperation by Henry would be damaging to Demons. This warrant also reveals there was no communication between Demons and Withers on 10/26 as previously stated by law enforcement by Withers. Oh, Lord! So Henry goes to the hospital by himself with the 2 bodies. They die. He tells the police, hey, we got shot over here. Takes the police to said location. No evidence is found. Police get skeptical, interview witness, Withers, aka Red Mitsubishi guy. Hey bro, where's Melly? Oh, he was with me in my car. Really? Police go to music studio, see that Melly actually got in the Jeep with Henry, which Henry never told the police that Melly got in the vehicle with him. Then the police go back to Withers. Hey, Red Mitsubishi guy, we actually know that Melly was in the Jeep. Why'd you lie? Oh, well, I didn't lie. We stopped on I-75 and he got in my car and we spoke over Snapchat. So the police pull the cell phone stuff and show that Withers drove his red Mitsubishi all the way fucking home. Never stopped on I-75. And then to put the nail in the coffin, they go through Melly's Snapchat conversations and see that he never had communication with Withers. Oh my shit. Oh! On December 4, 2018, Demons, in an effort to promote his music career, released a documentary on YouTube. Throughout the 21-minute documentary, Demons glorified his use and possession of firearms. This is Melly. Demons said he's been carrying a gun since he was in 4th grade. This is also consistent with the statements obtained during this investigation regarding Demons always in possession of a firearm. At the end of the documentary, the final screen displays these words. 4 days after the completion of this film, YNW Melly and his friends were targets of a drive-by shooting in Miami, Florida. This is significant as it also places Demons at the scene of the crime in the vehicle with Henry, Thomas, and Williams. Let me show y'all this real quick. This is the documentary in question. So, yeah, guys, so this is at the 2024 mark. He puts 4 days after the completion of this film, YNW Melly and his friends were the targets of a drive-by shooting in Miami, Florida. YNW Juvy and YNW Sakchaser were killed. So that there's Juvy right there, and there's Sakchaser. And if you guys notice, he has a red bandana on his shirt, or his camouflage thingy. He is a blood gang member, which is another reason why they're going after him so hard. In summary, the following information supports the findings of probable cause, included but not limited to false statements made by Henry at the hospital, false statements made by witnesses involved, Demons fleeing the area, and manager of Demons, Jameson Francois, intentionally misleading this investigator, giving false statements stating he doesn't know where his client is, presently located. It was later discovered that Francois was in communication with Demons and even drove him out of the area after the shooting. His manager picked him up right near where the killing happened. It was later determined by cell phone records that Demon and Williams were in this location determined to be the actual crime scene, which is isolated from individuals passing by and potential witnesses to murder. Cell phone evidence indicated that Demons was dropped off prior to Henry arriving at the hospital. The autopsy report shows the wound path for both victims' head wounds was from left to right direction. Shell casing inside the vehicle matched the casing on the outside of the vehicle. Evidence shows Williams and Thomas, the victims, were shot inside the vehicle, and the rounds came from the left rear passenger side of the vehicle, subsequently occupied by Melly, as they proved with the video surveillance footage. The crime scene was intentionally staged to appear the vehicle was involved in a drive-by shooting. Video evidence shows Henry changed his clothes, but the original shirt worn by Henry had a blood-stained pattern in it. In an interview with the mother and girlfriend of Demons, both stated that after the shooting, Demons called them via FaceTime and stated he was the victim of a drive-by shooting and his two friends were killed, thus placing him at the scene at the time of the incident. The mother of Demons' girlfriend also stated when she witnessed the FaceTime call, it appeared Demons was outside and hiding, waiting to be picked up. But wait, guys, there's more. Okay, so this is the vehicle, right? This is the Jeep. This is how they were sitting in the vehicle. Now, also, guys, they got new evidence, all right? So they ended up getting Melly's phone, the police. And what they found was Melly basically kind of gave a dry confession. So they found video on Melly's phone, okay, a month after the shooting. And he goes, there's no regrets for the shit that I did for that nigga to die. And then he does a gun motion like this to his head, and he throws up a blood gang sign. Puts his head in the shape of a gun, like pulling the trigger, throws up a blood sign, and then says, both of them never say when. So the interesting part of this video is it was 1 month to the day after the shootings occurred on October 26th. This video was on Mr. Demon's cell phone, which was brought to my office by Jameson Francois, and that's how we had that. And that's his manager. So here we go. In the Circuit Court of the 17th Judicial District in and for Broward County, Florida, State of Florida versus Jamel Demons, aka YNW Melly, states notice of intent to seek death penalty. And remember, guys, the reason why is because they're trying to get him on premeditated murder. Okay, murder 1, which is the highest degree. All right, because they're basically alleging that he planned to do this. So just so y'all know, Melly has pled not guilty. Him and his co-defendant, Bortland, have both pled not guilty. All right, Bortland got out on bond. If Melly goes to trial and actually goes through with this, I predict he's going to lose. You guys just saw the evidence, right? Obviously, it's a very circumstantial case, but y'all can see that the circumstances pretty much paint a picture that there's nothing else that could have happened.